Today, we're here to talk about one of, if not the most well-known character in gaming, who's featured in over 200 games with his own series of 2D and 3D platformers, as well as countless spin-offs. I'm talking about Mario, our trusty guide throughout countless adventures across the Mushroom Kingdom and beyond. The mainline platformer games are known for many things, such as their mechanics, characters, and of course the levels themselves. Super Mario levels are some of the greatest showcases of game design, with such well-crafted, imaginative, and often challenging levels that have been the core of the series for decades. In this video, I want to go over the best Mario level from each game, from the very first Super Mario Bros. To the new Super Mario Bros. Wonder game. So with that being said, yo guys, Crazytendo here, and these are the best levels from every Mario game. Let's go! Kicking it off with Super Mario Bros. For the NES. And for this game, the best level is pretty obvious. That level just happens to be World 1-1. Definitely the most generic Mario level out there. It is the generic Mario level of all Mario levels. I mean, when you hear the word Mario, your mind just jumps straight to this level. This level is the most iconic level in Super Mario Bros. For the NES, a game which single-handedly saved the video game industry from permanently crashing. That's one hell of an achievement. This level just has your run-of-the-mill Mario stuff, question mark blocks, Goombas, Koopas, mushrooms, you get the drill. But the impact this had on gaming as a whole is crazy. Were it not for 1-1, gaming as we know it could be completely different and probably not in a good way. My favorite level in Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is, I don't know, none of them. There's a reason these should have stayed lost. 1-1 yet again because of one simple reason. It's the easiest level in the game. There, I said it. That's it. Now onto the real Super Mario Bros. 2, since apparently everyone outside of Japan isn't skilled enough for Lost Levels, boy were they right. The best level in Doki Doki Super Mario Bros. 2 is probably 4-1. Sliding on the ice blocks here is just really fun, and the spaceships at the end were a cool surprise as well. Super Mario Bros. 3 is one of the most well-received Mario games, and in my opinion, the best part is the entirety of Giant Land. What makes this world so special is that almost everything, like the blocks, pipes, clouds, and enemies, are way bigger than they're meant to be. This made playing through the levels in this world really fun, and this concept was completely fresh at the time. But if this entire world is so great, why specifically 4-6? Well, 4-6 gives you the option of going against bigger enemies or smaller enemies by entering and exiting a door, which is pretty neat. The most iconic and the best level in Super Mario Land has to be 4-3, where you get to do something you've never been able to do in Mario: fly a plane into the twin tower. My lawyer has advised me not to speak further. 4-3 puts you in a plane and you get to shoot down enemies and blocks using your cannon. This level is really similar to that one Cuphead level as well. This is also where you get to fight the final boss, who also has a plane, and when you beat the level, you get the chance to cheat on Princess Peach with Daisy. Luigi is not gonna be happy. Super Mario World is my favorite 2D Mario game, with the gameplay just feeling incredible considering it's an SNES game. But one of the most unique parts of this game is the Cape Feather, a power-up which allows Mario to fly. And when thinking about the Cape Feather, Donut Plains is the first thing to come to mind. Even though it's not the first world, this acts as the real introduction to the new stuff, and the Cape Feather is found immediately in the very first level. Donut Plains is also pretty nostalgic for me since I spent a bunch of time in 6th grade playing this game, and more specifically this world with my friends during lunch break. So there's that. Donut Plains is really fun, and the Cape Feather is something I'd love to see brought back into mainline Mario. Super Mario Land 2 is an unfortunately pretty forgettable game that had a few interesting levels, such as Mario Zone 4, where the floor is made entirely out of Lego bricks. How cool is that? You know, now that I think about it, Lego Mario does look very similar to the toy statue that represents Mario Zone. Foreshadowing? In any case, this is also just a really fun and chill level, as you would expect, but that Lego brick design gives it the top spot here. Up next is Super Mario 64. This Mario game was another groundbreaking video game released as the launch title for the N64 and setting the stage for all future 3D platformers to this day. When it comes to a favorite level, it wasn't that easy to decide, but I decided on Bob-omb Battlefield. It's a very iconic level that acts as the 1-1 for the entirety of the 3D platformer genre and solidifies itself as one of the most iconic levels of all time. This level has great music, a great boss fight to showcase the revolutionary advancements made by 3D gaming, and it really is just a great showcase of the N64 and the future of gaming. Super Mario Sunshine. I don't remember much of that game, but I believe the greatest level there was the pachinko machine. Son of a bitch. Almost every level in Super Mario Sunshine is a beach level, and while they all technically do different things, Serena Beach stands out for mixing things up a bit. It starts off as yet another beach level, but then when you get rid of that manta ray, a big spooky hotel emerges, and you get to explore it. The hotel is massive and difficult to navigate, but it's still a fun experience. But that's not all, as you can go to the casino and lose all your money to get used to the bankruptcy you'll be facing as an adult. It's pretty clear that Serena Beach is the best level in Super Mario Sunshine, since you get a beach, a spooky hotel, and a casino. Cause who doesn't love gambling? New Super Mario Bros. Was meant to be a comeback for 2D Mario after so many years, and a level that stands out is 8-6. This level takes place in a volcano and has some great platforming sections, and that's also due to the rising lava forcing you to always move so fast. One section of the level also has these cool little springs which send you flying and definitely help with the rising lava situation. Getting to the end results you going down a pipe that acts as a cannon to shoot you up to the outside world. We definitely need more creative levels like these. Super Mario Galaxy is an interesting game. While the gameplay sometimes felt a bit strange for me, one thing I definitely love were the level ideas, with my favorite being Freeze Flame Galaxy. This galaxy combines ice and fire sections as suggested in the name, and has you do the first 2 stars on ice and fire separately, before combining them into one level for the amazing 3rd star, making you use the new Ice Flower power-up to skate across fire or water sections, and use the Fire Flower to melt ice structures on the ice platforms. Ice skating actually feels kind of cool, and was a great addition. This galaxy is just so freaking cool. I love every aspect of it. I love how it combines the duality of fire and ice while making everything still feel natural and give that really awesome feel the galaxy levels tend to have. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is probably the best entry in the new Super Mario Bros. Series, releasing in 2009 for, you guessed it, the Wii. Picking the best level in this game wasn't that easy, but I went for 9-8. The final level of the special world is super fun and I love it. It's filled with bouncy clouds and coins everywhere, as well as King Bills, which I mean, who doesn't love these guys? They're great. This level is a perfect example of the fun that can be had in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Super Mario Galaxy 2 was the sequel to Super Mario Galaxy and added a couple of new things onto the first game. While not all of them were really big, it did add one of my favorite power-ups, the Cloud Flower, which allowed Mario to create up to 3 platforms mid-air. And of course, when thinking about the Cloud Flower, the first galaxy to come to mind is Cloudy Court Galaxy. This galaxy has an amazing soundtrack, which is pretty similar to that of Gusty Garden Galaxy from the first game, so that was great. Plus, this entire galaxy is just so charming. There are these drums that you can bounce off of, combining the power of clouds and wind to move around is super cool as well. While Galaxy 2 wasn't that revolutionary of a sequel, the Cloud Flower is definitely memorable, and that makes this galaxy my favorite in the game. Super Mario 3D Land introduced the concept of a linear 3D Mario game, and almost all the levels are straightforward and to the point, with an exception being World 8-Bowser. You start off by entering Bowser's mouth on this moving platform, which then makes you dodge a ton of fireballs. But that's not all, as you also have to then take this lava elevator up and move across an even trickier section of dodging big fireballs on the moving platform. And once you do this, you enter a cannon and go to the real castle, and the final battle against Bowser begins. Well, it's more so a level than a fight. You have to climb up the tower while avoiding Bowser's tons of attacks. And then when you think it's the end, Bowser makes a comeback and chases you. This level constantly challenges you, and so that's why it's probably my favorite in this game. New Super Mario Bros. 2 probably has some of the most generic, boring levels in the entire series. However, World Star Castle is a pretty fun and challenging one. It features pretty scary platforming sections, and you have to avoid the Koopaling's flashbangs throughout the entire level. If you're not behind a wall when this happens, you get turned into a statue and will for sure result in you dying. But this just gets even harder when you have to travel using the green snake block, as you need to move alongside it while also avoiding the flashbang. A challenging level for sure, and by far the best level in this game filled with boring average levels. My favorite level in New Super Mario Bros. U has to be Soda Jungle 4. In a game where pretty much all the levels were so similar, the fresh new art style on this level definitely stuck with me, so much so that it ended up on this list, while basically no other level in that game would have even made my top 50 of all time. The unique art style inspired by Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night just looks so beautiful and was definitely something new. In terms of the level itself, however, well, it was more a simple basic linear Mario level, and doesn't have much going for it, like pretty much all the other levels in this game. But the art style was something unique, not just for this game, but for the entire series as a whole. When it comes to Super Mario 3D World, picking a favorite level isn't that easy, as almost every level is amazing in its own way. But the greatest level by far has to be Champions Road. Being one of the most difficult ones in the entire series, this level is an amalgamation of so many different mechanics from the game, the difficulty cranked up to 11. You get access to this level by getting every single green star, every single stamp, and reaching the top of every flagpole in every level, so this level was expected to be a challenge, but man, it was something else. You start off with really basic jumps on moving platforms, which is so easy that I was the only person in the Nintendo trio to beat it. Go watch our Mario 3D World Manhunt video if you haven't yet. Then you get these beat block platforms that everybody loves. Then you defeat some Magic Koopas and go to this area with pits, fuzzies, and huge spike bars. But that's not all, as there's this vertical section where you need to bounce off ant troopers and piranha creepers, and then you swim through a moving block of water and avoid these big spike blocks, and then you have to run across these boost panels and avoid falling off while also avoiding lasers. Oh my god. This level is a pain to beat, but that's what makes it the best one in Super Mario 3D World and probably one of my favorite levels of all time. Super Mario Odyssey is, as longtime viewers of the channel know, my favorite Mario game, as I love the unique aesthetics and vibes that each kingdom has, and overall, I just have so many great memories with this game. Now, without a doubt, the best level in this game has to be New Donk City. It's such a bizarre idea that somehow fits with the overall vibe of the game. This is the first time we get to play as Mario in a concrete jungle, and yeah, those words weren't an accident since this city gets its name from Donkey Kong. New Donk City is so open and free, and you can just mess around here and do whatever you want for ages. These humans also look so strange, but that's what makes them so great. I remember the first time I stepped foot into New Donk City on my friend's copy of the game, and I loved playing in this open area. From being able to bounce on cars, to climbing up buildings, doing the annoying but fun jump rope challenge. Hell, you can even control an RC car. How cool is that? New Donk City, by far the greatest level in Super Mario Odyssey, and dare I say, one of the greatest Mario levels of all time. Bowser's Fury was an unexpected entry to the Nintendo Switch, but a welcome one. This short campaign released as part of the Super Mario 3D World port for Nintendo Switch, a part of Mario's 35th anniversary celebration. Bowser's Fury takes the assets and power-ups from 3D World and turns them into something new. This is the only true open-world Mario game, as every level is interconnected through the decently sized Lake Lapcat. While all the levels stand out in their own unique way, my favorite is probably Mount Magniau. It's the most interesting one in terms of design, as there aren't any other levels that look like this. The whole level is a cat face shaped volcano that you have to climb up using the various platforms. The first section uses those left-right arrow platforms, no idea what they're called, but you can see them on screen right now. You move around while avoiding the fire bars, and you can even use some power-ups to cheese your way through. The second section takes place on top of the actual mountain, and it's so cool how you can look across the entirety of Lake Lapcat from up here. By having a very distinct visual style and fun platforming, this level is easily the best one in my opinion. Super Mario Bros. Wonder was Nintendo's return to the Italian Plumber's 2D adventures after more than a decade, and has some of the most fun levels in all of Mario. Picking a favorite level was pretty difficult since there are so many great ones, but the final battle, Bowser's Rage stage, stood out for me. This level has a great start and it all builds up to an amazing boss fight. You encounter tons of challenges and enemies that you faced along your journey to get here, and you have to make some fast decisions to not take damage or die. Once you beat the main level, you head on over to the final fight with Bowser. He summons these big hands that slam down on the stage trying to hit you. You need to use the jump platforms to gain a jump boost and damage the hands. This then leaves the head open and you do the exact same thing. You hit it underneath to deal damage. But of course there are obstacles in your way, as you have to avoid these note-shaped flaming piranha plants, where you have to use the jump platforms to avoid them. This is definitely the best boss fight in the game, but that's not that much of an achievement since all the other boss fights are pretty similar to each other. Over the last 39 years of Mario, we've been introduced to many great levels and challenges. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons. It's free and would really mean a lot and help me make even more videos like this. Also, be sure to check out this video on screen right now, where I talk about my 10 favorite Nintendo Switch games. But that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.